Good. So welcome, everyone. Props, blocks, and cushions for today's practice, and also the myofascial tennis balls. I would like to show you one of the myofascial release balls that I have. I can send the name of it later, and this is a bigger ball, and I really like this ball because it works with the diaphragm. So if there is any tension on the belly, on the diaphragm, sometimes like I feel like my belly is too hard, and it brings a lot of releasing into the belly area. It's like massaging all the belly and massaging the bottom of the lungs and the diaphragm. So I will write down the name of this this bowl. I think like maybe like online you can get it, but if you feel that sometimes a lot of the tension goes into the belly, and also when we have a stress or anxiety, sometimes it can go all into the belly, or also like into our lungs, right into our diaphragm. This is something that I do almost every day, just like rolling into the belly and holding the bowl for a minute or two. And it's very, very soft, but really effective. And for today's practice, we are gonna be working a lot with the upper body. So we are gonna work with the neck, we are gonna work with the shoulders, we are gonna work with the chest, right? And also the lower part of the body. So at the end, we are gonna work the whole body, but with emphasis into the upper body. As I was sharing before, I think like nowadays, especially in the last year and the last months, we have been pushed to work a lot on our computers, and sometimes this can increase the tension into the shoulders and into the neck, and also into the chest, just collapsing the shoulders. So we are gonna do a lot of chest opening to also create more space into the chest, because our position is very important. Our position, if we hold a wrong position for a long time, let's say one day and many days and many months, and this can also create a pattern, not just on the physical level, but also into the emotional level. And Yin can help us with our correct position, just to realign our bodies. So let's start today with recline butterfly. So feet together. Remember, if you would like to support your knees with the block, so they work with the inner thighs and the growing doesn't go too deep, and you can use a block or a cushion behind your back. Yes, in my case, I'm gonna use the myofascial release ball just because it's here and it's very nice. But if you don't have it, you can use the cushion and the block. Also, you can use the bolster to support the back of the head. And your arms can be facing up, or you can bring your arms above the head. Just relax here. Let's start by taking 3 releasing breaths. Taking a deep inhale through the nose. And stick your tongue out and exhale through the mouth. So it's like lion breath, but softly. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And close your lips softly. And start by feeling into your body. Noticing the movement of the belly rising and falling, and start grounding into our breath. Practicing belly breathing, abdominal breathing throughout the whole session. Scanning the body to see if there is any tension, any holding, any discomfort to our physical bodies. Just become aware of it. See if you can become a little bit softer on the areas of tension. On the jaw, on the neck, on the shoulders. Softening the chest, softening the rib cage, the diaphragm, the belly, the hips, the pelvis, the tailbone, the legs, the knees, the calf muscles, the ankle, and the feet, the toes. So body scans can be a really good tool. It's a mindfulness practice that develops that sensitivity, awareness, conscious awareness of our bodies. So it can be used during our practice. Scanning the body to see if, where we are holding tension. Maybe after a while, your breath starts being deeper. Expanding the lungs, the bottom of the lungs, the middle and the top of the lungs is a full body breath. So the whole body is breathing. And there's a beautiful visualizations where you imagine that you are breathing through every pore of your body. So it's not just inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils, that you are inhaling through all the pores of your body. And on the exhale, you're releasing through every pore of your body. See if you can feel that. Last minute here. While we are here for one more minute, let's set an intention for today's practice. Moment to think about our dedication and intention. Our focus for today's practice. Maybe dedicating this practice to someone who needs our energy, or to something we are working on in our lives, something that we would like to bring forward. Take 3 more deep breaths, feeling and tuning into your intention. And on the exhale, release your hands down, side to side of your hips, and turn your legs together to the side. And we are going to make the way to release this first pose, release all the blocks and bolsters and cushions that you're using, and become neutral on your spine, on your legs, and feel. And as I always say, that move intuitively. If your body needs stillness, become still. If your body needs to readjust and to make micro movements on your hips, on your legs, and this can change from day to day. Some days your body wants a little more movement and flow, and other days you just want to rest and become aware of the shifting and the changes. And last breath here in a rebound. Once you're ready, bring your knees to your chest and hug your knees. Give yourself a big hug. And roll side to side, massaging the spine. Good. Roll to the side. Into a fetus position. And come up. Slowly. And coming into a table pose. And from table pose, we're going to add some movement into our spine and also into the neck. So moving into cat-cow for a couple minutes, but really intuitive, really on your own pace. So we are not doing this cat-cow to warm up, because in yin, our muscles doesn't need to be warm, but we're moving just to allow the energy to flow through the neck, to prepare the tissue on the neck, on the shoulders, on the spine. Just feeling into the movement, deepening into your breath. Maybe you want to do a different movement. Maybe you want to create circles with your hips, with your neck, with your spine. We have 1 more minute. So move in any direction that feels good. So allowing the chi and the prana to find its natural flow through the energy lines, the meridian lines. Good. And on the exhale, come back into a table pose. And from table pose, moving into Anahatasana. And this Anahatasana, you can use the blocks or you can go directly in the floor. Yeah. And from here, we are going to extend the arms. We are going to be working, on the shoulders. Yeah. So the hips stay more or less into the same line and the hips, then the knees. And the arms can be extended forward. Another variation is to do without the blocks. Yes, if it's too much for the shoulders, do without the block. Or we can go into a half puppy where one arm is bent and the head is resting. But then we need to halfway, we need to change on the other side. So check which variation works better for you. And if you don't have blocks, maybe some books or some cushions, just to have a little bit of elevation of the arms. But again, what works for some might not work for others. So commit to stillness. Once you find your first edge, resting the forehead on the floor. If the shoulders feel tight and compressed, open the arms a little bit wider. Relax your hands and your fingers. So here we are working with the inside of the arms, especially stimulating. Make a nice stretch on the chest, on the belly area as well, depending on how deep you go. And we don't have to go to the maximum. Sometimes less is more. And as we hold for a long time, the sensations might increase. As the tissue starts opening, as we are compressing the tissue and lubricating the tissue. As we get older, the tissue dries out. We become stiff and tense. Practicing yin to a deep opening. And we have last minute to go. This anahatasana, anahata is the name for the heart chakra in Sanskrit. So working with the meridians and energy lines of the heart and also the lungs. So if we have been sick, having some flu symptoms, this pose can really benefit to stimulate the meridian lines connected with the lungs. Really do for winter time. Becomes cold and you become more sensitive to the weather. This pose is for you. Let's take 3 more deep breaths. And in the next inhale, lift the chest slowly. And remove the blocks. Take time. Remove the blocks. Remove the cushions and lie flat on the mat. Maybe making a little pillow with your hands. And just resting here and see how it feels. Again, tuning in, see if you need to move or you need to become still. Deep breathing, feeling into the belly. Anchoring into our breath. Good. And preparing for the next pose. In the next inhale, lift the chest. And watch me first. We are going to bring the right arm under the left. And we are going to bring the arms into half broken arms and the legs into half frog pose. So I suggest to have a blanket or maybe a towel, maybe a cushion to bring the knee on the bolster or on the blanket. Just to support the knee, yeah? And the left leg is gonna be into a half frog. And then the right arm is gonna extend towards the left side. If this is way too much and it doesn't feel good, you can release your left leg down. Yes, another variation is to use a block or a cushion to support your head. For me, I like to use the block because it's quite hard, this block that I have, and creates pressure into the forehead and it feels like a big release. But for some people that can be too much. Other people like to use the myofascial release ball into the forehead. It can be a little more bubbly, but see how it feels for you. So the target area for this pose is going to be the outer side of the right arm. The left arm can be extended forward, or you can bring your left arm back, whatever it feels more comfortable to you. And also we are working with the liver channel on the left leg. It's a little more complex, but I like to work on the upper body and on the lower body at the same time. He's working with the inside of the outside of the right arm. So the outside of the body, it's considered the yang. The inside of the arms or the front line of the body is more yin. So here we are working with the meridian lines of the arms and the shoulders, the yang meridians. The left arm is relaxed. Pelvis is relaxed. And one of the work that we do in Yin Yoga that for me is one of the most powerful tools that we can develop in Yin Yoga is that we learn to relax and we learn to trust our bodies and to develop the feeling of being safe within ourselves, within our own bodies. When that happens, things start changing as we trust. We develop that trust of ourselves, of our inner knowing. And when yoga can do that, when it's not just an idea or a concept that comes from the mind, but it's actually an experience, and we can feel in our own bodies the feeling of trust, the feeling of knowing that comes from the inside, the feeling of safety, the feeling of groundedness. And we don't look for that safety in the outside, on things or jobs or other people, because we find it within ourselves. This is what Yin Yoga meditation can really help us to build a foundation, to have that foundation of balance, emotional body. Let's take 3 more deep breaths. Good, and on the next inhale, you can first release your left leg. And then lift the chest and release your right arm. And take your time. Look into the side, whatever feels more comfortable to you. And feel the sensations on the left growing and your right arm. Once you're ready, lift the chest. Let's go to the other side. So switch the cushion or the blanket to the other side, just to support your right knee this time. Sometimes just putting the knee directly on the floor can be too hard. And this time we bring the left arm under the right. Yes, get into a position where you feel the stretch onto the other side of the left shoulder. And the left hand is facing up. Support your forehead or not with a poster or with a block. And once you find the edge, commit to stillness. The right arm can be extended forward or back, or any other, maybe diagonal, or somewhere else with supports, with blocks. And commit to stillness. Stay here for a while. See the quality of your breath, noticing how it feels. Each inhalation and each exhalation. The body needs to readjust to this position. Please do if it feels pain or discomfort to a point that is too much. Release the pose at any point. So softening your hands, softening your arms, your shoulders. And breathe in deeply. Last minute. Really powerful to work with the upper body, as we don't get to stretch so deeply the upper body. And slowly let's release. Once you're ready, inhale, lifting the chest a little bit, releasing your arm and releasing your right leg back. And release the pose, release the blocks, release your arms. Just take a moment to feel. Ooh, you can sigh it out. So signing out is a sign of release. Feeling the effects, feeling the energy moving again, the chi, the prana, this tingling sensation, the subtle sensation, sometimes not so subtle, sometimes quite strong. Once you're ready, hand side to side of your chest, lift the chest on the inhalation and coming back into a table pose on the exhalation. Good. So from here, we are gonna work with saddle. And if you have problems on the knees, I suggest to take a position that doesn't compromise your knees so much. So it can be half saddle and then we change into the other side. And for here, the target area is gonna be the front line of the body, but also we are gonna use this position to stretch the front of the neck, the throat. Yes, so we are gonna support the back and we are gonna allow the head to drop back. So it's like a fish pose, but in yin. And if this feels too much, maybe opening the legs a little bit wider, and you can also sit on a bolster. And you can use 1 or 2 blocks under your back. So let's see how it feels. If it's too much for the back, don't go so deep. Yeah. And from here, you can start lowering down slowly, slowly, using 1 or 2 pillows and dropping the head back. I'm gonna take my hair down. And if you have your hair tied up, you might want to release it so there is no any resistance there. Your arms can be in a T position, and you can send your arms above the head. Make sure that your ankles are okay, then your knees are okay. Really nice stretch for the lungs, really nice stretch for the belly, for the diaphragm, for the psoas muscle, and the quadriceps. Start by breathing very deeply. Scanning the body, see if you're holding tension in your shoulders, on the neck, on the jaw. Getting a nice stretch on the front line of the neck, and the throat, stimulating that thyroid gland. So I recently not recently, I've been working with it for a couple of years now, but just was reminded to do the practice of somatic meditation where the experience comes from the inside. And sometimes nowadays the meditations are a lot in the mind, just controlling the mind, controlling the thoughts, and it becomes like a gymnastic for the mind. And the somatic practice is developing a techniques where you work from the ground up instead of from the top to the bottom. We are building our foundation in the body. And I really resonate with this idea. And instead of directing all our attention into our mind, directing all our attention into our bodies, into our breaths, so we can be fully present for our bodies. We can pay attention into the body sensations. We can pay attention into the feelings, the emotions. So we can move from the mind to the body. Instead of keep focusing into the mind, working with the mind, we shift to work with the bodies directly. Having that direct experience to your body, to your breath, and developing that sense of conscious awareness of our own reality, of our own physical experiences. And as my teachers say, is no ideas and thoughts and change us, is experiences. Experiencing within your body a sense of deep relaxation, the sense of deep trust and surrender will make a change later on as we develop that somatic experience within ourselves. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. Getting ready to come up slowly. And let's secure the coming up because it can be quite tricky. And of course, you move intuitively, but I suggest to bring the forearms down and to tense a little bit the abdominal muscles, to contract a little bit so you can protect the low back. Inhale, coming up, and push with your hands, with your forearms, lifting up slowly. And making your way. So first release your hands and walk your hands forward. Release your legs. Just taking your time, putting the posture to the side. And we're gonna do a counter pose here. So bringing your feet on the mat, separate your feet. And bring the knees to the right and to the left just a few times. Very slowly. Good, and once you're ready, lie down. Take your time. And feel the rebound into the psoas, into the growing, into the quadriceps and hip flexors. And once you're ready, knees to chest. Hug your knees. Roll side to side, massaging the spine. Good, and coming up. So coming into fetus position and slowly coming up. Good. So from here, we are going to move into a side stretch. So opening the legs into a dragonfly. And you can sit on the posture just to elevate the hips a little bit. So have a little more tilting on the pelvis. Yes, and you can change the position of the legs, bringing the legs a little bit closer, wider, depending on how it feels into your inner thighs and in your growing. We're gonna go into the side body. So we're gonna start with the right. Yeah, so prepare your leg. For me, every day change. Sometimes I feel like more like bringing the blocks and the cushions inside, sometimes outside. Sometimes if I have the long bolster, I don't have it here today. Sometimes I have the long bolster, I like to put it over my thigh. So see, play with the props that you have at the home and see how it feels better for you. And from here, we are gonna release elbow. And I like to support my head with my hand, and the right arm is over here. You can be with the right arm extended, but it's actually like quite heavy. So you can bend the elbow and just rest your arm, your forearm, over your head if that feels good. And you might feel already like a deeper stretch on the side body. Sometimes just by bringing the hand here and here is enough. Yes, so adjust your position. We're gonna be here for 3 minutes on each side. So working with the lower body. On the hips and the pelvis. And on the inner thighs and also into the side body. So closing the eyes. Taking long deep breath. Feeling the opening of the ribs on the right side. You might have a little more space on the right side to take deeper breath. Imagine that you are inside of your lungs and you can feel them expanding and relaxing and contracting. So if you can have that as a result of being so connected, so deeply connected with our bodies and with the breath, then the mind, the thinking mind, slows down naturally. Because we are not obsessing to stop our thoughts, but we are actually directing all our attention into our direct experience of our bodies. And this is one of the reasons why we say the more we feel, the less we think. Because we are fully present with the here and now of our body experience. And we know what it feels to be in our own bodies. We can experience that in each pose, in each shape that we take. Let's take 3 more deep breaths on this side. And in the next inhale, lift the right arm and imagine that someone is pulling you from your right hand so you can come back to the center. Just stay here for a moment. You can close your eyes. Just feeling the difference between the right side and the left side. You feel loud. Once you're ready, let's go to the other side. So switching the blocks or the booster to the other side. And slowly bring in your right arm down. Maybe your elbow, your hand supporting your head. This feels good. Sometimes if you have enough blocks, you can support your head with the blocks and your left arm reaches up. Maybe bending the elbow and releasing the arm over your head. And if this is not available for you, try a different variation. It feels good. Coming into stillness. Relaxing, releasing, and letting go. Feeling into the left ribs and left shoulder, left hip. So if you can take deep breath to the left side. Two more minutes to go. So if you want to go deeper these last 2 minutes, welcome to explore a deeper edge. Stay where we are. Really nice stretch into the hamstring on the right side. Depending on how deep you go into the pose, you might feel the focus into the side body, into the inner thighs, maybe also into the hamstring. Just take 3 more deep breaths. And then the exhale, first release your left arm. And imagine someone is taking your left hand and pulling you back to the center. Nice, and release. Just take a moment here just to feel, to readjust. The left side can be a little more sensitive this time. And once you're ready, hands under your knees, to bring the knees up, to bring the legs together, to put the bolster to the side, the cushion you were using under your sitting bones, remove it so you can lie down flat on the mat. Taking your time. Move if you need to move, becoming still if not. Long deep breath. Once we're ready, bend the knees, roll to the side, and coming up slowly. And moving into shoelace. So remember, you can go into half shoelace with the left leg this time is extended, the right leg is on the top, or you can go into the full shoelace. Yeah, and this is a deep hip opening. So I suggest to elevate the sitting bones a little bit. Yeah. The feet can be away from the hips or it can be close to your hips. But make sure that you have a space to sit. And from here, we are gonna do a little bit of flow So we are going to start with a twist, and then we are going to come back to the center, and then we are going to move into the arms stretch, moving forward, yeah, to go deeper. So let's start by bringing the left arm over the right and the right arm back. Yeah, so it's going to be like a sitting position twist, opening the chest, looking over your right side. And this sitting twist have a little more of yang than when we are lying down. But try to rest your arms, to take a position that feels good, to relax your shoulders, to relax your neck, relax your face. And in this twist, we work with the upper body and also just compressing the internal organs. Hips. Noticing the quality of your breathing from the inside. Feel your body expanding. And on the exhale, feel the body relaxing. Full body breathing. Let's take 3 more deep breaths into the seated twist. And on the exhale, release, taking your time. And bringing your spine back to neutral. Releasing your hands to your feet, into the mat, maybe into your lap. Whatever feels comfortable for your shoulders. Tuning in. And adding the work and the stretch into the arms. So we're gonna lift the left arm and we're gonna bend the elbow. And you can bring the right hand into your elbow. And you can stay here, or you can bring your right arm back and around and see if you can take a hold with your hands. But if this is way too much, use a strap or maybe a towel to have a little more of length. And you don't need to struggle so much here. So this might be quite a lot already for your shoulders. So you can stay here. If you would like to go deeper, maybe you can send your chest forward. And using a block or a cushion to support your chest can help. And commit the stillness. You're feeling a strong stretch on the tricep on the left arm. And your shoulder joint. For me, this position is quite strong for the right shoulder. I had a surgery a long time ago, but still a lot of tension gets on my right shoulder. So when I do this position, I usually get a big release. See how it is for you? Let's take 3 more deep breaths. And in the next inhale, lift the chest very, very slowly. Good, release your hands very slowly down into the floor and release your legs. And we are gonna extend the legs forward. And this is gonna be a rebound. Just hands one on the top of the other, or into your thighs, maybe on the mat, whatever it feels comfortable for your shoulders. Close your eyes. And feel the effects. Let's go to the other side once you're ready. So open your eyes, leaning back. This time, the left leg is over into half shoelace or into the full shoelace. Still sitting on the bolster if you can, on the blanket if you don't have a bolster, and moving into the twist. So once you have your feet more or less into a comfortable position, then we twist. We bring the right arm over the left thigh, the left hand back. Maybe you can use a block on your left hand just to support and to allow you to twist deeper. Yeah, for me, I'm sitting on the bolster. So I'm holding my left hand on the bolster. So finding tricks where you can relax deeper into the pose without making a huge effort. You can close your eyes. Taking deep and long breaths. Softening, relaxing, and releasing the body. And the exhalation is a downward movement where you release tension down to the earth. We exchange, communicating with the earth in this way. Exchanging the energy from our bodies to the earth, releasing what is holding us back, releasing tension, releasing tightness, releasing the stress that we accumulate throughout the week, throughout the day. Becoming a little bit softer. Let's take 3 more deep breaths in this seated twist. And on the exhale, the next one, just gently release the twist. And bringing your hands side to side of your hips, maybe on your lap, maybe on your knee, on your left knee, whatever it feels good for you. Just feeling the effects of the twist on your spine, maybe on your neck, maybe on your hips. Really traveling throughout the body. Becoming aware of the sensations moving through you. And once you're ready, let's go for the last pose before the final relaxation. So lifting the right arm up, bending the elbow, left hand pushes down the elbow, and you're gonna stay here, option 1, option 2, bringing the left arm around, holding on a strap or maybe onto the towel, maybe a charon if you have. Just deep stretch on the tricep on the right and more the deltoid on the left. You can stay here in an upright position. So for me, I'm gonna, this variation, just rest in the forehead, eventually on the block. So if you know that you would like to use a bolster under your chest, you can prepare before you go down. So slowly taking your time, bending forward if that feels good. And feel. For me, the sensations I feel in the shoulders more than in the hips. Maybe for you it's more in the hips, not so much into the upper body. Maybe it's in both, and it's okay. Just following the sensations, following the stretch, the big stretch. We're in the last few minutes of the practice before the final Savasana. So take advantage of working deeply with their breath, with their bodies, developing that direct experience with their bodies. And building that strong foundation from the ground up. And then we can face difficulties and challenge in a different way, in a new way. As we can rest into our natural state, also called our Buddha nature, or the bodhicitta body. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. And in the next inhale, lift the chest slowly, making your way up. Release the hands. And then leaning back, put everything to the side. Release your legs. And shake your legs a little bit, shake your hips. Just allowing movement again. And once you're ready, we're gonna lie down. So if you need any other movement or pose or counter pose, actually, before we go into Savasana, we're gonna bring the knees to the chest and hug the knees. And just make some movement side to side, just massaging here. And for the Savasana, you can use the tennis ball with the sock to induce the still point and to release the tension into the back of the head. So after a couple minutes, you can release it. You don't have to be the whole Savasana with the inducing the still point with the tennis ball in the back. You can actually release it when you had enough. Opening the arms, relax your legs. Let's take one more deep releasing breath. Inhale through the nose. Open your mouth and exhale. And allow your body to rest, to relax, to release. Notice if you can feel the sense of opening, the sense of deep relaxation within your whole body. Your whole body is soft. Your whole body is relaxed. Your whole body is resting on the earth. Enjoy your savasana. Taking your time to slowly come back to your breath, to come back to your body. To start moving your toes, to start moving your fingers, your ankles, your head side to side. Once you feel ready, sending the arms above the head. Get the last deep stretch of the practice. Just taking your time. If you need to stay a little bit longer, no worries. Take your time. This is finally a relaxation time. So you might want to stay a little bit longer into the savasana. Listen to your body. Come back into sitting pose once you're ready. Good. And just taking a few moments to settle the practice, to feel the effects of the practice on your body.